So now that you know the basics of jQuery, it's not that I expect you to jump in and start writing your own jQuery code, though that would be great, but it means that you can understand jQuery as it's used in other examples. So I've found one here that will do these kind of animated menus. So watch, I'm going to mouse over this text right here, and we see this animated menu come up that will link to other pages. So that's pretty cool, and this is on a website, JavaScript Kit, that provides you free JavaScripts that you can use on your page and directions for doing it. So if we look at this example, there's a script here. This is importing jQuery, and then there's a couple style sheets and JavaScript files that we're also supposed to import that are provided here. So let's actually try this, see how it works. We're going to copy this and paste it into our document. There's the two files that are referenced, so I'm going to save this in our week 5 file as jQuery menu. I'll save these in the same place. And then he's given us some example HTML that we can use that I'm going to paste in after this. Okay, so let's save that. And we can see the examples working here. We mouse over and we get that. So now what we can do is go in here and start actually editing this code. Let's take a look at what's going on. And we're going to fill things out. So we need our HTML tag and our head tag. We have our script that we're importing. This link tag is importing our style sheet, and this script file is importing the external JavaScript that was provided for us. I'm going to end the head there and start the body. And what we have here, web design links, that's the text that we're mousing over to get the menu to pop up right here. So we could change that if we wanted to. Next we have a div, and this is going to define this section here, I believe, more web design links. We get another menu. We don't need that one, I don't think, so let's get rid of that, and we'll just have our one here. Okay, we have a little instruction here, and you can see we have two menus. Outline menu, outline menu. This is my menu 2. This is my menu 1. This is the one that we're using. The shorter one goes with this example. So let's delete this bigger one just to simplify our page. Okay, so we've got our menu here. This is just an unordered list. It's formatted nicely with some style sheets, but that's all there is there. And you can see the ID of the link here is design anchor, and that's what's getting passed in here. It's referring to my menu 1, which is this div, and it's passing in mouse over, which is the event that actually allows the jQuery to trigger this animation. So since you know how jQuery works, you can actually edit this. You understand what's being passed in here, so you could expand this list, you could change it. You could change it from a mouse over to some other event, so maybe when I click. So instead of mouse over, I could type click here. I could refresh this, and now when I mouse over, nothing happens, but when I click, the menu comes up. And you could start thinking about other ways that you want that to be reformatted. You can actually look at the code here. So here we're going define menu in that JavaScript file we downloaded. We could actually open that up and see what it looks like. So let's make that font a little bit bigger. Here's define menu. So remember we were putting in an anchor ID, a menu ID, a reveal type, that was the click or the mouse over. And then we passed in a number. Opt width and opt height are two options here. We passed in 180, so that's probably controlling the appearance. So let's say we make that 380, reload, and now when we click, we get a much wider menu. So understanding how jQuery works and how these JavaScript functions work mean that you don't necessarily have to write your own code to do these things, but you're able to take code that other people have written and change it and make it work for your benefit. Let's take one more look at this. So if we look at our menu here, it's this div, and it's using the class outline menu. That's cascading style sheets. If we open the CSS file, make that font a little bit bigger, we can look at outline menu. All of these options are defining what that looks like. So for example, if we want to get rid of the lines that are in here and have this look more just like text that's appearing, we could go in here and we can find these borders. So here it has a 1 pixel border. We can just make that a 0. We have another border here that we can make 0. And if we reload, now we're kind of getting this text appearing underneath. So we've changed the effect just by changing a few things in the style sheet. Be willing to play around with these kinds of things. Manipulate them, change them. If you break it, you can just undo it and put it back the way it was. But it will give you a fuller understanding of what's going on and allow you to potentially create some pretty cool things from examples that people are willing and happy to share online.